Freddie, if I might return to Amir Khan, he has, of course, I mean, he's unbeaten and he's won many of these fights very handily, but he has also been knocked down 3 times in his career. Is that about his defensive capabilities or just the fact that he may not have a great chin? What do you think?
I think it's more the defense. He put himself in little bad positions once in a while, and mistakes, minor mistakes, that make a big difference. And it's just, if he makes just a slight adjustment, I don't think that will happen anymore. I think his chin's okay. I think it's just his balance was off a little bit in a couple of them, because I do have the tapes on him getting knocked down, and they sent me that. So we'll make that adjustment, and hopefully that won't happen again.
Freddie, if you're in looking after Amir and his next 2, 3, 4 fights, who would you like to see him fight in his progression towards a world championship fight?
Well, there's a lot of good fights out there right now, and then you've got, of course, Nate Campbell. He's a real veteran and real workhorse, but he is a little bit older, and I think Amir's youth and his speed would be too much for him. I think he can outbox Nate, and that'd be a good fight for him. But then you've got like Casitas out there, the Australian boy who's supposed to be getting ready to fight Diaz. But I hear Diaz won't fight him because Casitas wants to wear Reyes gloves. It's really a poor excuse, I think, because he says every time he fights against Reyes gloves, he gets cut.
I
don't really think it's the gloves.
This is Juan Diaz, the Mexican fighter you're talking about.
Juan Diaz, yes. And Juan Diaz would be, Juan Diaz is a guy. He's just really, really busy. He's not a big puncher or anything like that, but I think Amir could outbox him also. And obviously I talked to Amir last time he was here when we at the Bernard Hopkins show. I told him, I said, don't pick Pacquiao yet. I told him, I said, it's a little too soon, but him and Pacquiao would be a huge fight also.
Freddie, at the top of this interview, I pointed out, the kind of fighters you've had and your preeminence in the fight game in America. Do you, just as a matter of interest, do you get to pick and choose, like Amir Khan? Do you get to pick and choose which fighters you want to work with these days?
A lot of fighters come to me now, so I do get a lot of talented guys that come, and the thing is, I can bring out the best in fighters and so forth, but if you don't have talent, if I don't have a talented fighter, I can't do much with them. I know that, and the thing is, I like to give the credit to the fighters. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of great fighters and a lot of talented guys, so I've just been blessed with that. And I had a great teacher in Eddie Fudge who taught me the finer points of boxing and how to really mold the guy and more of a finishing touch type of person. Me and my fighters, we get along really well. And Bernard Hopkins, who's a very difficult guy to train. He's very physical and so forth, and he's worked, but it's what I love to do though.
Freddie, you worked with the great Eddie Fudge, who you mentioned there. How much of an influence has he had on your career in terms of what you've gone on to give your boxers?
I give him all the credit for my success, because Eddie trained me for 9 years as a professional, and then I worked with him as his assistant for 5 years, and he really taught me the finer points of the game and so forth. And he's a real old school trainer, and from Detroit, and the moves, and it was a great experience being with Eddie Fudge. He's a great guy, a gentleman on top of that, and I thank him for my success.
Well, listen, Freddie, to round up, let's assume that the deal gets done when you come over here to England, and we look forward to that very much indeed. But assuming you can do the detailed work you've talked about, particularly on Amir Khan, perhaps his defensive capabilities, let's try and look down the line 2 years hence. Where would you expect a properly trained Amir Khan to be in the world of boxing?
Definitely, in 2 years, he'll be on top of the world, I feel. He's a talented guy. He does have the ability. He just needs to bring out the best in himself and have confidence in himself. And I think, within a couple of years, he would be the world champion, and hopefully a multi-weight champion also.
Listen, Freddie, first of all, thank you for joining us here on talkSPORT. And secondly, I hope we can do this deal and we can talk some more in the future. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Take care, Freddie.
I have a fight on the 26th. I have Concepcion fighting a title eliminator on the Cotto show. And then on the 27th, the next day, I'm going to try to make my arrangements and come see you guys.
Excellent.
Thank you. Well, good luck to your fight.
We'd love to have you in the studio as well, Freddie. Take care.
Absolutely. And Martin Concepcion is fighting, and then he's hoping the next day to come over here and do the deal with Amir Khan. And if they ask you when you're at your dinner party, do they get the big names on talkSPORT? The answer
A
you can
true
give,
legend of boxing.
You're able to say yes, they do, without telling any lies at all.
Kick off for